Good evening. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I am your host, Al Scott. As always, we thank you all for joining in on our live broadcast tonight. Okay. I hope and trust that everyone has had a good day so far. Mine's, as you can imagine, been busy. I'm going to open up the phone lines tonight. The number is on the screen. That's going to be 318-946-4071. If you would like to call in tonight and give your comments on R. Kelly being sentenced today. Okay. Today, after more than 20 years of R. Kelly's first allegations, R. Kelly was sentenced today to 30 years in prison. Lady OCOV, good evening to you. And Miss Smith, I love you big time. Always a pleasure to see you on my live. Before R. Kelly was sentenced today, his victims, were allowed to speak. I'm going to share a couple of those comments with you all tonight. A father of one of the victims also spoke to R. Kelly, and he said I could have came with hate, but I came with love. What about R. Kelly? That's all I want to know. Let's getting away with this. Okay, that's what we're speaking about tonight, Janice, and we're going to get to that now. First of all, my sister Yvette last night, I'm going to pull up something that I want to read to you all. She said something when we were putting up the post about today's show. Miss Hollins, good evening to you and welcome to our live broadcast tonight. Love you big time. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And my sister said something, and I agree with her. It kind of sort of got me somewhat emotional there when she said it, but it made a lot of sense. And after she said that, I went and put a post on our Injustice Investigations Facebook page about R. Kelly. R. Kelly is 55 years old. If he did the 30 years, close to the 30 years, he would probably be in his 80s when he come out of prison. However, R. Kelly troubles don't end in New York. He's scheduled for trial in Chicago sometime in August. When R. Kelly first got in trouble with the law, he was acquitted. R. Kelly walked out of the courtroom a free man. R. Kelly walked out of the courtroom, and before he would leave the grounds of that courthouse, he had already given his manager permission to give a child his personal information. Ms. Miller, good evening to you. Ms. Miller says the Chicago trial will be much worse. Misty Hart, good evening to you. Collins, Sandy Moon, and good evening to you as well, Ms. Miller. So my point for saying that is this. Whether he was guilty or innocent then, R. Kelly was acquitted. He was acquitted. However, R. Kelly showed disrespect to the system when he walked out and handed a child his personal contact information as if he was saying, indeed, I am a bad man. I'm R. Kelly, and I can't be touched. I fussed and I fussed and I fussed in many videos pertaining to the things that they said R. Kelly did. A friend that does a lot of research for me lives in Texas. I had to come on a show one night via phone, and she said that the reason why so many people are still pulling for R. Kelly is because they're getting R. Kelly mixed up with Robert Sylvester Kelly. Robert Sylvester Kelly wasn't on trial. R. Kelly was on trial. R. Kelly knew that he had a problem. R. Kelly admitted that he had a problem dealing with sex. But R. Kelly still did not address that problem. Simply put, sometimes our problems can begin to feel good to us, and then we continue to do them. I honestly hate that R. Kelly received 20 years in federal court today. But if we were to be honest, we would all say that R. Kelly had an opportunity to get it together. And R. Kelly chose not to do that. Now, we can go off our emotions or what the law says, or we could mix it up. Did R. Kelly do the things the victims alleged he did? In my opinion, he did a lot of those things they say he did. Did some of them lie? Absolutely. Without a doubt, some of them lied. R. Kelly told us who he was and what he was in a lot of his songs. R. Kelly said that I'm a blessing and a curse. I'm a blessing and a curse. Miss Phyllis, I thank you so much. Love you big time. And incidentally, if you all care to donate to the show, there's the Cash App information. It's the $ Eddie Mays Boy. We gratefully appreciate your donation so that we can continue to do what we do. Okay. So he may have been crying out for help. He may have been crying out for help. But R. Kelly did not cease from such activities. They continued. And finally, they caught up with him. One of my sisters today told me, well, Fonso, some of those little girls was hot and fast and just wanted to lay down with R. Kelly. I'm not going to disagree with that. That's true in most cases. But however, if there's someone who wants to commit suicide, but they don't want to do it to themselves, they want someone else to do it, they'll go out and find a cop, and it's called suicide by cop. Now, if the cop knows what this individual is trying to do, does that mean the cop has to grant him his wish? No. Since these little girls wanted to lay with R. Kelly, does that mean R. Kelly had to? No, it doesn't. It does not. R. Kelly was famous. R. Kelly was the man. They idolized him. They wanted to meet him. They was in love with him. They worshiped him. And so what did R. Kelly do? R. Kelly took advantage of that and pleased himself. And pleased himself. We're going to get to the parents shortly. He pleased himself. One victim today said, you destroyed so many lives. You did. You destroyed so many lives.
R. Kelly kept his head down. I think he said he had his hands over his eyes, and he never looked at them. He didn't respond in court today. He didn't give a statement. He was sentenced, and then it was over. If we arrest R. Kelly, if we arrest R. Kelly, and we said that R. Kelly ran an enterprise for 30 years, for 30 years, he ran an enterprise. This business he had consists of sex, violence, disrespecting. It would be earthly impossible for one man to commit such acts by himself. He would have to have an entourage, which R. Kelly did. If this lasted 2 or 3 years, then he was investigated, and they locked him up. I would understand why the feds would give some parents a break and not charge them, as I believe the parents should have been charged as well. But here's the thing, this went on for 30 years. There was a little girl who wanted R. Kelly's help to start her singing career. He moved her in. She lived with her mother and she lived with her father. I don't know a mother or a father in his or her righteous mind would give an okay to their child living with a girl. I don't care if it's R. Kelly's mama. We don't do that. We don't do that. That makes no earthly sense. But in order to sit R. Kelly down, in order to sit him down until he dies in prison or Jesus returns, the Fed says, we can't charge the parents. We cannot charge the people that worked with him. We cannot charge the managers, the road managers, the bodyguards, the assistants, the secretary. We can't do that. Without them talking to us, we got nothing. We have nothing. So we will offer them a deal. You will not be charged. We're going to put it all on Kelly. Or Kelly will suffer this alone. So here's what we have. You have R. Kelly committing crimes, and you have our justice system in such a rush to convict Kelly that, as far as I'm concerned, they too committed crimes, because they let the pimps, the mothers, the fathers that pimped their children out to R. Kelly, they let them go. I cannot understand why no parent was charged. It doesn't make any nervous sense. They were pimps. They looked at their children and they played R. Kelly music. And R. Kelly told you who he was, what he liked to do. He told you how freaky he was. He did. You cannot say that you didn't know. He told you. But they looked. Tammy always 100 said, I don't understand that either. But he looked. But they looked. They looked. They looked at their children as nothing but inanimate objects. In other words, prostitutes. Parents prostituted their children out to R. Kelly. To R. Kelly. They were paid. They were gifted. Whatever they wanted, R. Kelly made sure that it happened. The assistants got the airlines tickets, got the limos, got the rental cars, got the hotels. They got R. Kelly's prey to him. They did that for 30 years. And they are not charged. That is another injustice in this case. I can't give you no deal and you are a pimp and turn your children into prostitutes for $1. You have to go down. You either testify or you don't. But either way it go, we're not giving you a deal just to get R. Kelly. So we still have child abusers, child molesters, child sellers on the streets. We still have them on the street. The victims described how Kelly, whose real name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, subjected them to perverse and sadistic things. If they didn't obey Kelly, his strict demands, if they didn't obey his rules, such as needing his permission to eat or go to the bathroom, they would be punished. They would be punished. Before sentencing today, some of the victims made statements, including Angela, who said that with every addition of a new victim, you grew in wickedness. On this day of your sentencing, we reclaim our name, she said. We are no longer the preyed upon individuals we once were. He didn't respond. Another unnamed victim who directly addressed R. Kelly as he kept his hands folded and his eyes down. The victim said, "You made me do things that broke my spirit. I literally wished I would die because of how low you made me feel." Do you remember that? I'm not going to dabble much into what Summer's saying, and this journalist said earlier today, is that a lot of people failed these black girls. I'm not going to play the race card on this one because I don't believe the race card needs to be played in this. It had nothing to do with the skin color. If anybody failed the little girls, the little black girls, their black parents did. You can't blame us for this. You can't blame the community for this because they were black girls. No. You got to go to their homes and blame the parents who neglected them, sold them out. That's who let them down, not the community. The family members did. The father that said, have sex with R. Kelly. Get it on tape. Bring the tape to me. Let me look at it. And then we'll set him up. What father wants to watch his daughter What father wants to watch his daughter have sex with anyone? What father would tell his daughter to have sex with a man so we can get money. Again, the child becomes an unwilling prostitute. Mother and father become pimp, pimp, pimp their own daughters out. R. Kelly was convicted last year, 9 counts. 9 counts. Kelly still denies any wrongdoing. Says he didn't do anything. The first step to healing is admitting you did some things. I wasn't there, but a lot of police officers wasn't there either. And you all wasn't there, I don't guess. You don't have to be in a certain place to see things for yourself. Just do the math. Just do the math. I hate what has happened to R. Kelly, but R. Kelly orchestrated his own woes. R. Kelly orchestrated his own troubles. R. Kelly orchestrated this day. R. Kelly did. R. Kelly did. Well, no, not R. Kelly. Yeah, R. Kelly did. He did this. I still listen to his music. Played his music yesterday. Played his music today. Even felt a little bad for him today. Because I'm like, I'm sure he didn't sleep last night. And so why do we feel bad for R. Kelly? And some of us are okay with him being in prison. Well, it's simple. We're people with a conscience, with a heart. We don't just desire that somebody get locked up and we rejoice from that. But if you break the law, then you must pay. I've been there. I've broken the law. I haven't always done right, but I haven't always done wrong either. But R. Kelly, he made us dance. He made us fall in love. If the relationship was ending, some song R. Kelly was singing would bring it back. And we keep getting lost with that. We don't want to lose that. I tell you, you lost that years ago. You just didn't know it. You just didn't know it. Kelly was charged with 21 counts of making child sexual abuse videos involving various sexual acts in June 2002, but was acquitted on all counts following his trial in 2008. In 2017, an article in BuzzFeed brought fresh allegations that Kelly had trapped 6 women in a sexual cult, having taken advantage of them after they approached him for help with their musical career. R. Kelly deemed himself the Pied Piper. One of his victims brought that up today. We know who the Pied Piper is. Was he crying out for help? I doubt it. I'm sad that he was given 30 years. But I'm trying to figure out how they derived at that other than looking at the law, but he had a 30-year career. So prosecutors asked for 25. They got a little more. People keep saying that this had a lot to do with the Me Too movement. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But here's what people are not realizing. They are not realizing that if the Me Too movement pushed hard to investigate R. Kelly, they pushed hard because they knew something was there. So you can't get upset with the Me Too movement and not be upset with R. Kelly. Sometimes we People don't let us down. We let ourselves down because we have a tendency to put people on pedestals that they themselves cannot stand on. So a lot of times, again, we let ourselves down. So what do we do? What happens now? We go on. R. Kelly goes on. They're going to appeal. Naturally, they're going to do that. But do you know how long you have to sit before anything comes up? He would probably be into 15 or 17 years. And I'm not trying to be ugly this evening, but he's not going anywhere anytime soon, regardless to what your mind tells you or what you think should happen. It's not about emotions. It's about the law. It's about what R. Kelly did. And a lot of things that he did is not just he said, she said. Don't forget, he filmed a lot of this. The young lady, which if it was me and someone made me do that, which I wouldn't have done it, you just go ahead and give him, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You can blow my brain. I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to do it. He films a young lady. Bowel movement, trying to keep it clean, in a cup. Smears it on the face. The girl eats what's in the cup. He films. I wouldn't have said that. That would have been something I would have took to the grave. I wouldn't have said that. I just wouldn't have. I know some women that had that been an attempt on them, they wouldn't have done it. It probably would have been a homicide with them killing R. Kelly to even a phantom that he's thinking about having them to do that. R. Kelly had money, popularity, and was a hell of a recording star. R. Kelly birthed careers into existence. R. Kelly came and resuscitated careers that had died. Michael Jackson thought so much of it. No, you don't come to me. R. Kelly, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you. R. Kelly had the world in the palm of his hand. Private jets, mansions, Bugattis. This R&B sensation had a very large network of people, managers, security guards, bouncers, runners, lawyers, accountants, assistants. And everybody knew their role in assisting R. Kelly. They knew their place. So how can we even address arresting R. Kelly and we don't in that same breath address arresting the parents and his workers? No, you have to go down with R. Kelly. You're equal to him. Y'all thinking is you may not have done it, but your thinking had to be the same as R. Kelly's because you did nothing to stop it. And it wasn't always about the money. Some of these people that worked for him, I promise you, participated in some of those acts. They did. They did. But I want R. Kelly. I want R. Kelly. I want R. Kelly. Whatever it takes, I want R. Kelly. You got him. You got him. You got him. It's as simple as that. R. Kelly has a trial scheduled for August the 15th in Chicago, where he's facing child pornography charges and obstruction of justice. He was convicted in New York on 8 counts of sex trafficking and 1 count of racketeer. When we put money over our children, that says a lot about us as parents. You cannot tell me that you love your child when you sell your child. Money made them sell their children. And now they all just want to point fingers at R. Kelly. We didn't know he was doing it. Just like they didn't know R. Kelly and Aaliyah was having sex when they was on the bus in the bedroom. I guess they thought R. Kelly was Aaliyah's tutor. I don't know. But they soon find out what was really going on. I'm lying. They knew what was going on. And a lot of times, depending upon who you are and how you feel about money and material things in life, you'll shut your mouth and close your eyes. I know nothing. But what does that say? That says to me that you're just as guilty as R. Kelly. But now you want to come and spill the beans on R. Kelly. Tell me what you did. Tell me what you allowed. Tell me about the girl you drove to him. Tell me about that. Tell me about the girls you put on a flight to get to him. Tell me about the girls at the concerts that you took backstage for him. Tell me about that. That's you. Your hands are dirty too. R. Kelly is not the only individual that should be in jail. Hell, as far as I'm concerned, some of the FBI agents should be in jail for not arresting the parents. Why am I making a big deal about the parents going to jail? Well, if you don't know, then I don't need to tell you. I guess it's esoteric. R. Kelly will spend the rest of his life in prison. It's just as simple as that. I'm going to end tonight. My voice is going out. And where we're YouTube. We're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Okay. I'm going to our Facebook page at 8 o'clock. Probably just said the same thing over that I just said to you all. Today, I said it's a sad day because of who was sentenced today. And how much time he received. And I see it as a sad day because I mean, I don't condone what he's done, but I see it as a sad day because he went down alone. My sister Yvette put a comment out right before airtime. She said, she's talking about Maxwell, the lady who I think she received 20 years yesterday, I think. And she asked, what's the difference? What's the difference? The cases are eerily similar, but he gets 30, she gets 20. As far as I'm concerned, she was just as guilty as Epstein was. But I do believe once he died and they were not able to prosecute him, now we must solely focus on her. Somebody must pay for this. Is she innocent? No, she's not innocent. She did some things. Maybe not everything that they're claiming that she did, but she did some things. So when people do this, I mean, I know you may like them, you may love them, you may respect them, but do not feel sorry for them because they orchestrated this. They wrote this chapter in their lives. If I'm sitting at home, I don't know a doggone thing about selling drugs, but somehow somebody coming here and got 5 or 6 keys of cocaine, and I get set up and I go to jail. Not only do y'all feel sorry for me because I didn't do it, I don't know damn thing about selling dope. Come bond me out. Don't just tell me you're going to break. I need you to come get me out. My point is this. When they do this and they have been caught in their wrong, feeling sorry for them on that end is wrong. They broke the law. They intentionally broke the law. When R. Kelly got out the first time, where did he stop at? He stopped at McDonald's. Well, maybe he wanted to go to McDonald's. That's where him and his mama used to be all the time. Members of his mama. I know that. I understand that. But that had nothing to do with his mama. If you know that there's documents of you picking up children at McDonald's, you know this here. The world knows this. You might want a hamburger from McDonald's because you just got out. You don't dare go in. Your driver takes you through the drive-through and you drive on home. You don't get out to go in. When you do this here, it's like you're spitting in the system's face. Guess how we're going to do this here. That's how we're going to do that. You know, the thing about abortion, that's why I am for abortion. You know, I believe it is not man's place to tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her body. God created woman, man didn't. If it's an issue with God, then let it be just that, an issue with God. It's just that, you know. I'm getting rid of some children tonight. Some of y'all need to get your parents' permission before you come on this show, because we don't tolerate the foolishness, you know. Okay, that one's gone too. Okay. Don't go back to where you've been in trouble at before. Don't go back. Even if you're going back for the right, don't go back, because it looks bad. It looks like you're guilty. You don't care. Don't give them the reason. If they're talking about you and it's ugly things, everything within your power, let it be a lie. Let it be a lie. It's just as simple as that. Today, R. Kelly received a 30-year federal prison sentence. His diabolical acts caught up with him. He had 30 years to enjoy life. And we know he did. We know he did. But let us not get so focused on who's in jail and lose focus of why that person is in jail. As my sister said last night, I hate it has gotten to this point. But it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. His troubles continue in Chicago, Illinois. I'm Al Scott with Injustice Investigations. Remember, I'm not always right. You are not always wrong. If you're able to put some money into the Cash App, we'll see you tomorrow night. Y'all have a good night. As always, thank you for joining me.